Yeah, we're live. All
and
right.
audio.
And with audio and everything. So, hey, this is Dean Baker with Modern Day Thrive. Be good to have all the banners and all the kind of stuff we need to have here. Let's get that. Where's that lower third? Oh, well, can't have both. But anyway, welcome to another fun edition of Modern Day Thrive. I am your host, Dean Baker. Alongside of me, George Weber. How you doing, George?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. I'm relieved.
Uh-oh.
I'm relieved. Today is April 14th,
The day before.
the day before the day of.
Actually, I think it's 18th this year.
Yeah, they just randomly just pick.
Yeah.
Well, since it falls on a Friday,
Yeah.
so it's been the 15th forever and ever and ever. Usually they move it when it falls on a Saturday or Sunday,
Yeah.
but it fell on a Friday. Really,
They're being gracious.
really, so the 15th is kind of, well, it's it's
one more
loosely
weekend.
based on the 15th. Tell me how we're doing that now.
I know.
I'll write it down now. Loosely based. So then,
Well, because they're saying if you are late, we're gonna fine you.
yeah.
So
Wait a minute. I thought it was loosely based on the 15th.
Well,
Loosely based.
Yeah.
I wrote a short, wrote a TV pilot, and it was loosely based on my life. This, the 15th, 16th, close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough. Let's go with we'll do it the 18th this year. How's that?
Yeah.
Does that feel okay? Did Uncle Joe do that, or who did that?
I do not know who made that decision.
Uncle Joe, what's going on here, Uncle Joe? Give us some heads up.
Yeah.
How many? When did you know about this?
Surprise.
Because I think I only recently saw that, and I went
probably this week.
This past week, yeah. Oh, the 18th. So I have the weekend to stress more about it, to not get it there, and then
I guess they looked at numbers and said, a lot of people don't have theirs in yet. Maybe we should give them an extra couple of days.
Let's be a little lax, because one thing we know about the government is how loose they are about their rules and regulations.
I think they'd rather you be late so they can fine you.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, tax season is here, and for me, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's done.
You're way ahead of me.
I
extended all mine.
Normally I do an extension, but you know what? Last couple of years when there was, if you did an extension whilst the government is trying to get you your stimulus payment, that screws everything up.
That holds you up.
You could, a lot of people still haven't, just because they filed an extension, and then the government goes, well, if we're gonna give them some extra time,
you were gonna take some extra time.
We're not gonna pay them, for a little extra on top of that. So it was kind of like this whole last couple of years. I think last year they did a 30-day grace period, so they pushed the whole extension back another month.
Yeah,
it's not like people didn't have time to do taxes.
Yeah, right.
People have plenty of time to do taxes. You do them at home.
Yeah.
Unless you have to hire your tax guy and your tax guy, but that's not a month. That's that's just, if your tax guy is sick, you're probably going to find a new tax guy. Just because But last year it was a month, and I think I used that month, and then of course. Yeah, a stimulus payment thing, A couple big things. I've been a big proponent of TurboTax. I think I mentioned on one of the last couple of shows.
Sure.
TurboTax,
not sponsored, by
awesome. Yeah, they don't pay me, and I was really talking them up like a few weeks ago.
Sure,
we were on the show, and I
remember last year too.
I talk them up, and only because last year, they added something new last year. It was live. They have a live webcam person. Okay.
Which I know they're advertising again this
year. They were, and asked me,
must have been really
at the
popular.
beginning, would I like to talk to an agent? Well, I'm not ready to talk to an agent. Asked me once I've actually started inputting income and expenses, but no, I didn't have to. And this year was a little easier than last year.
Yeah.
Last year, there was a lot of extra stuff going on in the life that, that complicated taxes. And this year I'm kind of like, okay, you know, things are a little easier or back to reasonable normality, normalicious, normalsome.
You can make up a word. It's okay.
Yeah. So I kind of went in and I'm plugging in. Now, one down thing I noticed was they changed the I mean, they had it working fine last year. You know, why they had to muck with it again.
With advancements of rules
You
changes.
know, so they hid some things, they changed some things, and I wound up screwing up my taxes. Like, I started on Monday morning and I was like, I screwed up some stuff. And then I had to go in. I go, oh, I see what happened here. Yeah. But while you're plugging in income, it wasn't pulling information in from last year. Gotcha. Or it was asking me, it knew about last year. People that had paid me and given me 1099.
Yeah. That's the benefit of payroll kind of taxes.
Yeah.
A lot easier.
They knew, but for some reason I had to plug in all that stuff all over again.
Oh, that would suck.
And I'm like, wait a minute. If you make it at the very beginning, it says, hey, did you get a form from this company?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Isn't that great? I one thing I don't have to do. So I hit the checkbox. Yes. Then ask me this one. Oh, yep. I did some work for them. I got a form for them, and them. And I'm like,
any more?
But then once I checked all those, then it still made me plug them in. I'm like, well, where's the next part where you ask me what's different?
Yeah.
Because it wants to know the number.
Yeah.
Box number 11 or 14 or whatever. It wants to know the number. So I'm kind of going.
One of last year's, huh?
Let me preface this by saying to our audience, this is going to be the bitch and moan episode, I think, because I know George has got some things to bitch and moan about. I'm just going to go through this one thing with TurboTax. Even though it knew all the information, still asked me to plug them in again.
Oh, wow.
They did.
I'd be in trouble because I'm bad with records.
They did something to the format that kept throwing me in a loop. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's the button to go in and change the number on this guy or add a number or, where's the button? And TurboTax really, I think they screwed the
They hit it on you
here. So I screwed up a few things and it took me an extra half a day to figure things out and get them back where I wanted to get. And it's kind of,
but the good news is you got accepted.
And that was the other thing. Last year when I tried to file it online, I did the submit button, and a day and a half later, it came back and says they refused.
Yeah.
Well, there's this one little thing, I guess they want to know a number off of the previous year's return.
Yeah.
And if I plug in a number that isn't what the number the IRS had, they're going to go, nope, doesn't match us. You must be fraudulent. You must be.
You don't know who you are.
You are not the guy. So we're not going to let you file a form.
You're not playing in the sandbox today.
And it had nothing to do with my taxes other than it was a security question. So they wanted a number off the previous year's tax that, but it was still based on whether or not the IRS had actually processed my return from the year before.
Sure, yeah. Which you're assuming they did, but
assume they did, but maybe they hadn't. So they, last couple of years, they, I had to mail it in.
You have to wonder if they're giving them a check.
Write a check and mail it in. And then they go, great. Once it leaves my hands, it's now yours.
Yeah.
But last night I hit the button and this morning I woke up,
Ding.
accepted. So I'm very thrilled with that process. I'm very thrilled with that. And yeah, that's awesome. My TurboTax /IRS /tax thing for this year. Other things, but I'll let you jump in.
Mine's not as pleasant with taxes this year, just because it's my first time doing it as a business, and I am, in my opinion, a little bit lost, just because I have so many different platforms that I'm dealing with. That's my biggest dilemma right now.
Yeah, but someone's doing it for you, right?
Yeah, but I got to get all the data for these different platforms.
They still ask you for all the information, don't they?
Yeah, so I'm having trouble getting it from.
Guess what TurboTax does?
Oh,
they ask you for all the information.
I still don't want to have to deal with that past that.
I know.
Here you go.
Yeah. We're gonna get you there.
You tell me what to do. But yeah, so
think about
But see, I'll let you do my tax story. Hopefully it's a good one.
Hopefully your
mine should be.
Your tax guy knows crypto.
Yeah.
If he knows crypto, then you're in a good place. If he doesn't know crypto, then
we're gonna have fun.
Then I'm scared for you.
Yes. Well, we'll see. They know I'm a crypto person, so if they let me down the rabbit hole and they're gonna leave me hanging, then we'll see how that goes. We'll have issues at that point, but
the other thing you can always do is after they've done it, you can go you can go right into TurboTax, punch in all the numbers and see what happens.
Sure. See if we get the same result.
See what happens. Yeah. Mine, when I was in TurboTax, it asked me about crypto, of course. And of course, yes. And connected directly to Coinbase, which is the only platform I'm involved in. Yeah. So I gave them access to my Coinbase and it just went and then spit out a number.
I found a piece of software that's designed to pull that. And all these platforms that I couldn't find inside of my own platforms, I could not find where I could download what I needed.
Right.
They were like, oh, you click here and it downloaded it for me. I'm like, all right, how do you have access to that? And I can't find it, and it's just downloading a raw file and running it through calculations. I'll pay the money for that. I'm good with that.
Right.
So, and then I had my phone die in the middle. So that kind of had fun, but yeah, a lot of the platforms I'm in right now that I had a good thing going. I was earning interest and things were growing. They've all stopped playing ball because of the U.S. government. So, whereas I was, Celsius was one of my big ones, and I love the platform. I appreciate the like. So Celsius is one of my big ones. I don't earn a great amount of interest for it, but it was growing. And I wasn't doing it really for the interest. I was doing it for the loan capabilities. I could borrow from it at 1% without selling my crypto. Now, if it hit a threshold, some of it would get sold, but it's a big, big range. So I wasn't too concerned about getting that at that point. But I get a thing in the mail or email the other day, and it's like, well, any money you put in here before the 15th of this month, so give me a couple of days notice, I would be grandfathered into earning interest in that particular account. But everything I put the day after that would go into a custodial account.
Right.
Would not earn any interest.
So basically, we're just going to park money in a closet.
Yeah, we're going to park money for you, so you can
never see the light of day.
Well, not technically, but if I'm not earning it, my opinion is if I'm not getting dividends from stocks,
it's not earning.
I'm not having any interest in them.
Yeah.
If I'm not earning interest, I don't have any interest in it.
Money sitting doing
nothing is a waste. So that was another reason I kept it there. But so now what would happen is I could still get loans off of it. But the $2,000-ish I have up here doesn't count for the custodial account. And I would need at least $4,000 in there to be able to start borrowing. Yeah. So now I would have to just leave the $2,000 there. And if it ever got to $4,000 on its own, which would take forever at $2 and something a week, it would be a while.
Seems like the crypto world is getting topsy-turvy.
And they're not the only platform. Yeah. But according to what I'm understanding, it's only U.S.-based clients. All the other clients are not experiencing this issue. So it is something that the U.S. is imposing. I don't know the details, though.
Right.
That I got to find out. I don't know what they were saying, we've been in all the meetings with regulators, blah, 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 to keep compliant. So it's something to do with compliancy.
Right.
Why they have a thing against people earning interest on their crypto, I have no idea. So, and I'm earning interest in the same platform, or I'm getting Bitcoin.
Well,
even though it shows me $1 value, it's still Bitcoin.
If I were a conspiracy theorist,
the
conspiracy people out there are probably going, they just don't want you in their
I agree,
in their oatmeal.
Well,
they don't want you in their oatmeal.
they
It's
keep talking
their
about
oatmeal.
creating
The
their own digital
banks,
coin.
the banks, the governments, they
Definitely,
don't.
yeah.
You know, I think the banks are probably doing it because
I
they're
would
the
say,
ones
yeah.
really kind of not so much, but you know, the banks control the government.
Yeah.
I was just watching a movie the other day, and it was about that. It's called. It was about a bank. It was like this World Bank,
Mm-hmm.
and they were doing just nefarious
Calling
stuff. You
all
know,
kinds of shots,
and you know, fueling wars and toppling governments and all this, and it's the banks. But
yeah,
you know, that's
true, though.
That's upsetting their apple cart because no
Yeah.
one's keeping money.
That's
no
true.
one's putting money in their banks.
Why would you? They're not paying
and
interest.
no one's getting loans off of their banks. You know,
Yeah.
and but the government bails the banks out.
Yeah.
You know, then and of course, if there's a knock on the door with some black hats outside
Don't
going,
answer.
you need to shut up right now. So if I were a conspiracy theorist,
we're gonna go out the back and
shut the lights off, get real quiet. You know, nobody's home.
Go hide behind your
Nobody's
apple
home.
trees. They'll never see us.
So yeah, if I were a conspiracy theorist, which I'm not,
No.
I would.
I think there's some truth to it, though. I mean, there really is. I mean, they're lobbyists, rule what happens, and and the government keeps talking about now they're talking about creating a digital coin.
Yeah.
So of course they want people to, so is it
Do
a setup
their
for
coin.
that? I don't know.
Is that the new U.S. bonds after the war? You know, after
Yeah.
World War II, there was like invest in bonds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember in the Captain America
And bonds are worthless
movie,
now.
You know, and yeah.
So
well, it's just that if there are bonds now, it'd be probably Chinese bonds. We probably owe China so much money, you know. Now
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's changing how I'm having to, think about this, because if I can't borrow against my crypto, there really is no point in me keeping that crypto in that platform, because then I would be getting like $2 and some change every week,
right,
for the end of time,
right.
But I have a lot of other opportunities that I can do, so I'm going to move the crypto out and put it somewhere that's going to grow. And it may not grow as crypto, but if it grows as dollars, I'm okay with it.
Right.
It's still going to do what I needed to do. Help me fuel more investments.
I'm still very upset with Algorand.
Yeah, sure. I would be too.
Knocking my 4% interest down.
I wish I had known before that happened to tell you, but I didn't.
5%, which is why we're all expecting the February big run.
Yeah.
The run on crypto, and then of course the war breaks out. So I think it's the war.
Yeah.
And then it's like Algorand decides to gut their interest
big time.
Gone from 4% to 0.5%.
Yeah.
Like maybe they knew something before anyone else did.
I don't know.
But yeah, I would have liked to have known that last August or September when my crypto doubled in that department.
Yeah.
And I would have gotten out way earlier, In fact, I'll find a moment where I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
There are still other coins. Tezos, I guess.
Tezos, yeah.
Tezos pays like 5%, close to 5%. I think it's 4.5%. Another one is
see, I don't know where Coinbase is out of.
What do you mean?
Meaning where they're hosted. Like Celsius is UK. I'm not sure where Nexo is.
Yeah, I don't.
So if these are running into issues with the U.S. regulations, I would imagine other platforms are going to see it.
Right.
So we'll see.
I have to look.
Uh-oh. He's going over to the Coinbase to see. Did it go up? Did our conversation make it? Did our conversation make it go higher? So that was a big play. It was part of my strategy. And again, I'll pivot, so it's not a big deal. I'm not losing anything over it. I'm just not going to gain the benefits that I had planned on getting from it more long term.
Right. As soon as I walk over and I refresh, it signed me out. So I'm not going to go through this live on TV.
But so again, if I'm not earning, it's going to go somewhere else.
Right. And that was the one thing I liked about Algorand is that the growth patterns seem to be fairly predictable.
And it was a healthy interest rate. Now it's not.
Even at 4.
Yeah.
If they'd cut it down to 3, I'd still be like, hey,
Yeah,
3's not bad.
there's not bad. It's
But
above
to go from 4 down to 0.5.
back to bank rates.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, that's not good, which means I'm gonna find a way out.
Yeah.
When I get out,
And you're probably not
albeit-
the only one.
Yeah.
There's probably a
Yeah.
lot of people just waiting for.
Yep.
I don't
Even my
I don't-
die, I think, is
I don't
paying a
consider
better
that
interest rate.
cut your losses type of a situation. Where you think it's going to go away, but I definitely think it's something that it's just too much of a long term outlook to get the bang back out of it.
Right.
It's just like your view on how Bitcoin is. Bitcoin would have to jump considerable amount of money for you to double your money, and if you only put $200 in there, what are you doubling?
What are you worrying about?
Yeah, you're just not
$200 worth of Bitcoin is
Yeah.
nothing. Is really nothing.
No,
Because even now the big swing, like in the last 2-3 weeks, Bitcoin swung about 15%
probably yeah,
at the most.
sure.
Went from around 40 to 47,
Mm-hmm.
46 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one
back down to
that's
39,
1/7. That's about 1/6, 1/7 the price.
Yeah.
That it swung up and then it swung back down again. So that 15% is good,
Sure.
but
If you're on the right side.
15%. Yeah. If you buy in, now you buy in a Bitcoin at 40 grand and you put $200 in.
Mhm.
If it goes up to 47, what'd you make? 15% of that, which would be about $30.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, there you go. You
Yeah.
can retire now on
Yeah.
$30 on your $200 worth of Bitcoin. And then if you sell it,
Yeah.
because the 2 weeks later might go back down again.
I tell you, I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I was, me and my YouTube, I get sucked into these videos and I can't get out of them. But I was watching this video and this guy was talking about EK coin is the name of the coin,
Right.
and of course he's promoting it, and he promoted several others as well. But he is saying that EK coin is going to be bigger than Bitcoin. And what's funny is, I wish I had known and heard this video
Isn't that
a while back.
Isn't that just what anyone will
'Cause
say about a coin?
prices-
Oh, it's going to be bigger.
But the prices were like Shiba Inu,
Yeah.
and it went up to $6.
No kidding.
Yes.
When-
So I think
uh,
it's down around $1 now.
Oh.
But so it may be one
Yeah,
to
but
look
you
at
can't,
the parks
you
of
can't
money.
run
in.
out and buy 1 million of them. Like,
Well, I think it's around $1.
Yeah.
The last I looked, it may be a little bit less right now, but it may be one of those. Yeah, it may be worth parking a few dollars in it, type of deal. But no, it would have been really nice to buy it when it had all the zeros in front of it.
so the other one paying, I think 5% is Atom
Atom, yeah,
Cosmos.
Yeah, mhm.
Atom, ATOM. And that was why I went over there to look. I was like, I can never remember that name, but I have a little Atom and I have a little Tezos, and
sure.
they're both making interest. And funny thing is, I was doing a comparison. I got a crap ton of, for my little investment,
sure.
I got a crap ton of Algorand
Mhm.
making 0.5%.
Yeah.
I own maybe $100 worth of
I think it was Atom, yeah.
Atom,
Yeah.
$120. I'm getting more interest from them
Yeah.
than I am with a couple of grand worth
Percentage
of Algorand.
rules. It's not only percentages, is when it how often it, I guess, rebases, and gives you the compounding effect.
They've lost their ass.
Yeah. That's why banks just don't do it anymore,
Yeah.
because banks are every month, and you could take $1,000 number and put it through several different calculations, and obviously the bank is the scariest of the scenario. In a 12-month period, it doesn't grow.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, the banks make their money on people paying their loans.
yes.
But
But they're not paying it back.
They make their money on the interest and people paying
Yeah.
their loans. And when we're in the middle of whatever,
Mhm.
a crash or whatever the banks do, they'll
They'll do okay. I mean,
they
they're
do
bringing
less
in-
than okay, but
Well, yeah,
they
yeah.
they get pinched, but they're already in the money anyways. Making that
Well,
kinda-
that's not due to
money
that.
with
That's due to
interest.
how they leverage. You realize, I think it's is it 10 times? So you put in $1 in the bank, they can technically 10 times that same dollar out, and they wouldn't do it on $1, obviously, because that doesn't.
well,
It would be a
lots of
bigger number.
dollars.
It would be a bigger number.
Lots
but
of dollars.
technically, they're allowed to 10 times that money. So with a single, I'm using $1 as an example because it's easy. but it's obviously a bigger number. But they can 10 times that money and loan it out to 10 different people the same amount they were just given, even though they don't actually have it in the bank.
Did you ever watch It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah.
Right.
when we made a dollar.
When they lost a big chunk of money,
Yeah.
you know, because the guy didn't make the deposit or something.
Oh,
like
or he
that.
wrapped it in the paper. Yeah.
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 And everybody was rushing, did a rush on the bank.
Yeah.
And he's
giving it all.
He's like, well, what do you need? And he's giving, all right, you need $50 to get through the holidays, or you're, you know,
$250.
You
Oh,
know.
come on. What do you need?
Right.
$200.
I mean, in a very simplistic way, but you know, that movie was done back in the 50s?
I
40s?
believe, yeah, it was back.
You know, so same basic principle, only adding a lot more zeros.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
they were dealing with a small bank that, you know, now the banks are in the billions. And
right. But funny thing
different.
is, if they can leverage it and get 10 times the value of that leveraged money, which is money they don't own, you know, then sounds like something you're involved in, where you can actually, you're getting 10 times the interest.
Yeah.
You know, with
Novatech?
Novatech. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where I'm going to take the crypto that I have. I've got about 2,800, maybe a little plus or minus, just depending on what crypto is doing at the time.
Right.
That I'm going to move out and put into Novatech. It's going to bring me over $5,000. And if it hits 3%, which it pays weekly, we're talking almost $700 a month.
You know,
and
anybody who can really make that kind of, you know, we're talking more than 10% interest monthly.
Yeah, sure. It'll probably be around 10 to 15%.
10 to 15% of your money, meaning if you had 10 grand,
that's outstanding.
10 grand, you could have as much as $1,500 a month.
See, yeah, when I calculated it was around 13, and I'm using again 3% as the number, and but a lot of times they hit 3.3, 3.4.
Wow.
You know, they've had a couple 1.8 months, but at the same time that the markets were demolished.
Yeah.
So they're still, you know,
making money even
because they're, you know, I am relying on them to do the good thing. It's a hedge fund. They're trading the money. I'm relying on them to be smart in the business and not be idiots like they were when they tried to bankrupt GameStop. That was a pure risk play,
right?
And it wasn't smart. And obviously they lost. You know, the companies that tried doing that lost big. A lot of them went out of business.
Wow.
So, and I think the companies are a lot smarter than that. They're using their head to say, look, all these people are willing to give us money. All we got to do is give them a return, and we get a huge return in you know, and they have other ventures. So why would they want to mess it up? I don't know why anybody would.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, companies don't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
And they may at some point go, all right, you know, we've had a good 10, 15 year run. You know, we're going to move on. We're not doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully there'll be others
that
are going to pick up. I had someone hitting me up here as we were talking. There was, you know, another type of platform like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look into it. As long as I can get in small and watch it grow, I'll reinvest the capital. But, you know, don't come at me and go, yeah, we need to start with 50 grand. No, I don't start anywhere with 50 grand until I know what you're all about.
Right.
Show me you can make money on $100.
Right.
Or 500 even.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm always conservative in the beginning, but if I see the proof in the pudding, I'll invest and reinvest, but I'm going to take profit along the way. I put that $5,000 in, I will take profit every month, and it will still grow.
Okay.
You know, every $100 that grows is roughly another, you know, $30 per week.
Being able to.
So if I took out 200
passively, this is incredibly passive.
Aggressively, yeah. It requires about every Friday and Saturday, about 3 minutes of my time.
What now? What is it you have to do?
So at the end of the
Friday?
week, on Friday, it goes, hey, I made $75 this week. I have to decide, because it's in my bonus account now. I have to go, do I want to cash that out, or do I want to move that back into my trading account to increase the balance that I'm earning interest on?
Right.
So that's all I have to decide.
What if you don't?
If I don't want it, I can either leave it there and then it doesn't.
What if you don't respond? You're out of town Friday.
Oh, that's fine. It just sits there.
It just it'll just in a holding account.
It'll just sit in the bonus account until I decide what I want to do with it. I don't have to do anything. Right. It just.
But again, you're there to try to earn interest on your money, and if all of a sudden the interest you're making is not should be making more interest.
I'm going to add
Interest making interest is
Yes.
is clearly the winning scenario.
Money
here,
making money. Yes. So yeah, so far I've been happy. And I'll be honest. I've only been with them a couple months.
Right.
I haven't had any negatives of any kind. And even in what I've seen over the last 2.5 years, I haven't seen any negatives of the company doing anything nefarious.
Yeah.
So, but I will get to a point where I won't put any more of my money in, and
just
hopefully
work off the house's money.
I'll work off of the reinvest money and then be able to pull out profit. And at that point, I'll hopefully be able to open up other ventures with the money coming back.
Okay.
Because I my goal is to, I'm still shooting for 55, at least at the end of my, we'll go to the end of the year. I do want to retire. I want to be at a point where I have enough income coming in that I can say I can consider myself to be able to be retired. I have enough money coming in. Actually,
oh Christ!
After you look at this, I have a screenshot of something I did at home. It's a chicken scratch drawing, but it's one I did for my wife to try to get her to understand what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, but it kind of gives you an idea where my head's at.
Okay.
So I'll
Bitcoin's at 39,892.
Yeah, it's
everything is down. This is a down market. We're
right now we're kind of in a down market.
Yeah,
and a lot of it's
down,
regulations are freaking people out.
Cardano,
a lot of people
93
are taking profits. So.
Cardano is Cardano is a big chunk down.
Yeah, too bad your brothers don't know him, because he knows more about the Cardano. I still have a lot of people that talk good about Cardano. I mean, as far as what they're doing, what they're going to do with it, that kind of thing.
That's what Doge is, 14 cents. Everybody's down, yet Doge is right
Which is actually a little bit up from Doge, because it's been 12 and 13 for a while. Yeah.
Shiba Inu, kind of all about the same.
Yeah.
3.5% at 0.000026.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to move,
It's
going
to be slow moving.
$30. Yeah, everything's kind of a bit brutal right now.
There's not a lot of green.
There's my Algorand, 73 cents.
Ooh.
Not happy about that.
I mean, that's got to go another 30, 40 cents.
And Decentraland, which made huge leaps last fall.
Yeah, yeah. And held it for a while.
And held it for quite a long time. Has been kind of dropping pretty consistently. Which is funny, because I was just on Decentraland on their website the other day. And of course it's a what is it?
VR.
It's a metaverse.
Yeah, it's a metaverse.
Not VR.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a metaverse. I have not seen whether or not Decentraland will go VR, like through Oculus or something like that. But right now, it's such a clunky. You've got characters, so you can build a character. This is something new. Built a character, a likeness of me.
Yeah,
not as pretty as.
Well, isn't it kind of like the what's that old game that people used to mine, the mining game where they. Not Dig Dug. Yeah.
No, I mean it acts like it's ready to go VR.
Yeah.
Meaning you have a character. It's a POV game, so arrow forward, left, right, backwards.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then you can use your mouse to direct you a little bit.
Stuff.
And then you can zoom into a direct POV to a zoom out.
Okay.
So it can do a lot of things. Your graphics needs to be pretty much high end when you're doing
it's not 8-bit
gaming. it's not much better than meaning the computer. It's not a crappy computer, but it's not.
Well, but it's full screen, so there's a lot going on that screen. It's not just your image.
A lot of polygons, a lot of 3D.
Well, it's also interacting with people across the world.
Yeah, so I'm into Decentraland, and of course. It asked me to kind of save an account. Next thing you know, I'm on Discord.
Oh, wow.
So I wound up setting up an account on Discord. That's the last thing in the world I wanted to do was set up an account on Discord.
It's too chatty. It drives me nuts.
It's just a big chat world about crypto and VR and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm so not interested. Now I got to go in and I got to unconnected. I'm going to get blasted with emails about Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody farted on Discord. I want to hear about it. No, I don't want to hear about Discord.
Yeah.
Because all it is this think about what the word is, Discord.
Yeah.
People hate something.
Yeah.
They're going to be talking. I couldn't figure out Discord at all. It's just it's where chat rooms, if nothing else happened from early 1990s on the internet, that's where Discord is now. That's all it is. It's a bunch of chat rooms.
It's
and people,
big with a lot of people that are in a specific niche, but
but
it just depends on how it's set up.
Yeah. And so, yeah, for some reason, all of a sudden I go, why the hell am I in Discord? And I guess I wound up setting up an account. So I go back to try and navigate over to Decentraland, because once you get out of it
Yeah.
and you're in Discord, it's like there's no bridge. So you have to, no, I somehow managed to get in the
You was
wrong,
lost.
started a Discord account, and I'm like, oh, this is not where I want to be. So I get back over, finally get back into Decentraland. Of course, there's two ways you could play it: as a guest, which I did last time.
Mm-hmm.
Or as you need to attach a wallet.
Oh, okay.
So that
did you have to pay anything, or just attach it?
No, you just have to attach a wallet.
They just want it. Yeah.
I went in as a guest and I set up my account and all that, and built my avatar and all that, and and of course I'm in the general area where you can beam out and all these locations, and of course there are NFTs floating.
Yeah,
on
they're just waiting for you to
go
click
into
on
a building, and you can go into a building, look around, and you'll see NFTs all over the walls, and there's people. Only most of them are just standing there. I think they're just trying to figure out, what the hell am I doing? Why am I here?
Yeah.
Where's
the Budweiser stand?
Here? Now, it's so.
A lot of companies are big into this stuff now.
But it's so two-dimensional right now.
Yeah.
With I have to use my arrows. It reminds me of Doom.
Yeah.
Sure. Back in the day, a little bit nicer graphics, but but it could easily crash on me a couple of times. But but I got in. Yeah, I saw it, but unless I established a wallet, which means unless I'm ready to pay cash in hand, credit card in hand,
digital,
that no. And of course it wants to siphon Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever. I think it's Ethereum.
Probably Ethereum.
Yeah. The platform runs off Ethereum. Yeah. So
a lot of them do.
So you attach a wallet and it's going to suck up some Ethereum. Oh, if you want to do this, check out this room.
Yeah.
Give us
entry fees.
$5 worth of Ethereum. I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy Ethereum to do this. You want me in here. You want me liking it. Then this is why I like Facebook Meta.
I still have yet to figure out how to access it.
Well, in the Oculus, getting in.
Oh yeah.
To the I like going in there. It's social. You can have conversations with people. I saw people moving around. I saw people flying by on a jetpack. I saw people it was just like standing there.
Yeah.
Which means they probably got up, went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And their avatar just sat there. It
doesn't do anything unless you do.
Just blinking.
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm in this going, I'm bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
You want me to spend money here?
We found some cool stuff in some of them, though.
In the Oculus
Meta World
VR,
whatever,
that's fun.
Yeah,
they made it interesting. Got in. There's a game you could.
They
made a game. Cool. That was very cool. But they made a game out of paper airplanes.
Yeah,
you walk over to this one area there. There's a couple of rings, and you grab this paper airplane and you throw it and try and get it through.
The other one, it was you go off the edge and it was like skeet shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff. You just have to, they make games to want to attract you to be there. They'll figure out a way for you to spend money. I'm sure.
Yes.
But you build the interest by making it kind of interesting.
Yeah.
By people want to come back.
Platform.
That's why we're talking about it. That's why I'm talking about Decentraland. And in 5 minutes, I was bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
And when we were doing we're in the Oculus in Facebook's metaverse, it was pretty cool.
Sure.
They had all kinds of things to do. There's people interacting. You can have a conversation,
plus you can be in there with people
together.
and
then you can have groups, and it was really kind of interesting.
Sure.
You know, I'm not sure Decentraland until they go VR or, you know, I'm
Make it
just
more,
I'm
yeah.
just not seeing it right now.
I would
And
never do it if I had to do keyboard. It just, to me, it wouldn't.
It reminds me of Doom.
Yeah, it's like
It
literally
reminds
like
me
playing a
of
game at
an
that
old
point.
8-bit
Yeah.
whatever. Oh, a character comes up. What are you going to do?
Minecraft. That's what I was trying to think of.
Minecraft.
That's
Well,
what I was trying to think
kids
of.
like Minecraft. Though.
Oh, they do.
made Minecraft in Meta.
They have it in VR.
Well, yes, but if there was Minecraft in Decentraland,
Oh, they'd be all over it.
yeah, people would go to it and not
Yeah.
go just looking around going, yeah.
Probably a little bit of a copyright issue, but
Well, this is, you know,
yeah.
it's just, as far as I can tell, there's nothing to do when you get there.
Yeah.
You look around. I got on a train.
Oh, really?
Like a tram kind of thing. It was like,
did it take you somewhere?
Hop on a train. It just took me like what seemed like 100 yards that way.
Yeah.
So I got in and started moving, hop back out.
The door open?
It was just a little area, a little virtual town. We've seen all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like in the Oculus,
Mhm.
it's just the interactive stuff is very
gotcha.
left, right, forward,
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
You know,
Very clunky.
and if you use the mouse and the left, right, you know,
you have a little more mobility.
You can go forward and then use the mouse to turn you a little bit.
Okay.
And yeah, you can look up, look down, look, you know, everywhere, but it's still it's a lot clunky. It's not interesting.
It's not there yet.
You know. But again, it's just, and nobody once I'm walking around, I'm walking by people, you know, these are people that are just,
and they're not talking, they're saying, hey,
they're not talking, they're not saying, I'm not sure if they could. I'm hearing these weird noises, like, you know, yes, you know,
a little too much,
which makes it really kind of interesting. So Decentraland, I don't know, man, you guys got to get your stuff, you got to get your shit together. Otherwise, yep, there's Tezos. Tezos is at $3. I might buy Tezos or
buy some more.
Or well, when I get out of you know, when I get out of Algorand, I'm probably gonna go to another interest bearing.
Yeah.
You know, just park it there. Hopefully they'll
park it and wait, and you know.
Yeah. So
could at some point benefit you later.
Let's go ahead and get out of this remote.
Because you know back to, you know, where I started with Nexo was another platform that I finally Robinhood opened up and allowed me to transfer my crypto.
Yep.
And I've had Doge there. Well, I don't want to sell it. I only have 526. It's not a lot compared to what I had. But I said, you know what? I'm going to put it somewhere I can earn interest. So I transferred it over to Nexo, and that's where I kind of first saw the situation where it should have earned interest after 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it didn't. So I said, all right, well, let me give it maybe I didn't get it in time. Let me give it another couple of days.
Right.
Then it didn't. So I sent them an email, and then they sent back the thing and said, well, based on U.S. regulations, anything I already had interest going, I can keep. If I take it out and go to put it back, I lose it.
Right.
So I have some Tron in there. It's not a lot, but it's earning interest, and I can accelerate it. So I'm just gonna let that grow. Yeah. I will just leave that there. I won't put any more in, and won't buy any more. I'll just let it do its thing, and hopefully it grows. You know, but now my Dogecoin is sitting there not earning interest. Now I got to find another platform. I'm going to try FTX. Another buddy of mine, he's earning interest in there. But I asked him, I said, have you got any emails lately that said, hey, by the way, regulations are here?
Yeah.
He says no so far.
Right.
So I may try him and see. I'm just trying to park it somewhere that I can earn some interest. I'm just going to let it sit.
Yeah.
You know, why not? Why not? You know,
why not?
Maybe Doge will come through another run. It could. I don't know.
It's been pretty much stagnant for a year.
But it's still at 14 cents, dude. It was like doesn't
matter what it was.
Pennies.
It doesn't
never
matter what it was. It's a matter. What have you done for me lately?
Oh no, I get you there, but it didn't go back to its lows.
Yeah,
it kind of stayed in the middle. And I'm
kind
of happy about that.
I talked to recently said they bought Doge when it was like at 40 cents or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
it can be a while.
Right at the very top of the, you know.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, okay, you're not doing well. You're not.
You may want to find an interest platform.
Hopefully, you only put no more than $100 in, so that you can recover from any of
But see that, if you put in an interest platform and then it starts buying
Right.
at 13 cents, your cost to own comes down over
Right.
time.
Right.
That would be your best play at that point in time. Because otherwise, yeah, you're just waiting for the graveyard to kick all the dirt over you. Could be forever.
I don't think the smart play is well, let's hold out for a little longer.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna try and my Algorand's days are numbered.
Yeah,
much
sure.
like your
Yeah, sure.
gotta it's not doing anything.
No.
And it's down. So as soon as it can get away from being down,
I really was never going to sell my coin that I
Yeah.
had in Celsius because, again, I could borrow from it. But
Yeah.
because now I'm losing that and I have to start over from zero.
Right.
Or I can take my interest earning and put it in my custodial account and be halfway there. But then I lose the interest component, and it's going to take me God knows how long to get it where it needs to be. So you know what? No thanks.
Well,
I will give Novatech the opportunity to.
And so far,
I've been very happy.
Yeah.
I mean, so far I've been very happy. I was kind of going to wait until I had like about 6 months of data to kind of bring in a spreadsheet to show the transition of how the dollars are flowing.
Well, even if it's this month, it's a little down.
Sure.
I kind of want to see what next month
is. Yeah,
and
sure.
if it goes back up, then we know, okay, it's just a kind of a
well, I'll let you know tomorrow, actually, because tomorrow I get paid again. So
right.
Tomorrow will be, the day to see.
Yeah, be nice if it bounce
back to the 3%. I'll be happy because that'll put me in the upper 60s, maybe 70s.
Maybe the real money's in hedge funds or those that were financing the hedge funds in a way, partially. So
definitely. I've not heard it. I've heard it in many other places. If you really want to make money, it's with hedge funds. It's just it's like one of those things, do you get the one bad apple?
Right.
Or do you end up with the ones that are above ground and know how to make money? They need money to make money. They're willing to share it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really a good platform, or you get into one that's playing risky.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you about it. They do it anyway. And then everyone eats your lunch.
Yeah.
On you.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll be watching these like hawks this next month. I think
it's going to get interesting.
Yeah.
In a lot of different facets. Like I say, I still mine, so I get constant crypto.
Right.
So at some point, when if the Novatech is, I don't need to put any more in there. I may just stock it for a while, and then maybe I'll cash it out and pay off some debt.
Yeah.
What else at that point?
Yeah. Debt
or an investment.
Kill debt.
Yeah. Well, obviously, killing debt's your best investment anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't earn better than killing your debt, depending on what your level. I mean, right now I refinanced my house at 2.99. That would be the dumbest play, paying that off.
Well,
because you don't earn more than the percentage you buy off.
Right.
So I start with all the bigger stuff, and then I will attack my house.
Yeah.
Because that's my goal, is to get down to my big purchase was solar and my house.
Yeah.
I get down to those two, and I already know how to increase those, by creatively paying, and I do that, and I'm going to be way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
The bean counters are going to be freaking out, going, where will our money go? I should have a lot more money this month. Where's it go? Because I'm going to be canceling some interest. You can bet.
Yeah. That was the best thing I could have done, was to squash.
Yeah. That helped you out when you were able to do that. Yeah. I mean, that not everyone gets in that opportunity. So when you do, take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
I'm a reborn believer in killing debt. So
I've had to add some back because of the business, but I'm okay with it, and I still have a light at the end of the tunnel. So
Yeah, but the thing about it is that and this is fresh because it's tax season.
yeah, sure.
There's you have to balance now. Would I love to have kept? See, if you're not taking advantage of the business,
Mhm.
and this is if you're not taking advantage of the expenses and the write-offs,
Yeah, is why you doing it.
that you are incurring being in business,
Yeah.
whether it's your phone, your the mileage on your car, the
House write-offs.
home office, if
Mhm.
you're doing a home office,
Sure.
all those things. If you're not, you're starting a small business to incur that. Now, when you start adding those up,
You're leaving money
sometimes
on the table, aren't you?
sometimes it's better to buy that extra computer
Yes. Yeah.
and depreciate that
Sure.
against your business than to pay the 30% tax on the extra money you would have made.
Yeah.
You didn't make that purchase. So now I didn't spend $5,000 on whatever piece of gear I needed.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've got $5,000 surplus in my account that I'm going to have to pay 30% tax on.
You know what's interesting? You just said that like I said, I get into YouTube battles.
Right.
And I watch a lot of long videos.
Right.
And I don't know, have you ever heard or watched any videos from Grant Cardone?
That doesn't ring a bell.
So
no.
he's a pretty big tycoon, and he's
he got the millions top hat and monocle.
Nope, not
with the cane.
No
tuxedo. Not him, huh?
No, that's
not
Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about him though.
Oh, not the Monopoly guy.
But what he says is, at the end of the year,
he
says, "You will not see me with cash." He says that money will get reinvested.
Right.
And that's how they play the game.
You reinvest it. Otherwise,
you're going to pay a lot of money on it.
You're going to pay.
You're going to lose money, basically.
That is the game.
Yeah.
We didn't.
I didn't know this years ago.
We didn't make the rules.
Nope.
But we play by the rules.
Yeah, if you play by the rules correctly,
your Donald Trumps, all your billionaires and millionaires,
they know the rules.
They know the rules. So when you see them spend money, it's going to be in December.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So that they can empty out the bank accounts and then depreciate whatever assets they purchased, and in the good of the keeping that money. I'd rather have it in an asset that I'm going to make more money on next year.
That's my goal. I'm all about assets now.
And so, yes, I mean, you look at it and go, and I look at, the assets I bought last year. I bought a couple of them, and I go, geez, if I hadn't spent that money,
you would have owed.
I would have owed 30% of that income.
Yeah.
And so I'm reinvesting. I've been reinvesting in my business for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. That's easy, reinvest before, especially at the end of the year, when you're about to kind of, having to kind of start collecting all your data and your papers, and you start getting stuff in the mail, W-2s, W-4s, 1099s, whatever. And before you know it, you go, oh crap.
Yeah. What
I gotta pay tax on all this money I didn't spend. I wanted to make money. I wanted to have a nice pool of money and say, look what I done.
Yeah.
Instead, like most of these guys do, they end of the year reinvest it.
Definitely. I mean,
reinvest
they'll bottle that up, and then just, and these big guys, they're putting billions into, real estate and businesses, all kinds of stuff, probably even hedge funds, maybe even crypto.
Right. So just enough to kind of show that the money's doing something else. Not going to tax it yet. I'm not earning it yet. Well, you are, but you're not.
Yeah.
So that kind of, that's the world.
It's a mentality
we live in.
shift.
That's the world we live in.
It's a mentality shift.
So, and on top of that, running a side business, if you investing heavily, you could show a loss. So the money you're paying from your regular job
could be negated.
The income can be negated.
Yeah.
By doing something else. So the money, this is a good year for you, which
Yeah.
means if you're putting money into your business, you're taking money out of your bank account, your income. And by doing that, it's a lot easier to justify the expense than
Yes.
it is. Well, I bought a nice shiny new sports car. Yeah, well, that doesn't
doesn't qualify.
That doesn't qualify.
That's money.
Don't
out of
do
your
that
account.
because you're gonna get, you can't put that on a tax return. Every accountant's gonna tell you that's a no thing to do.
Well, a lot of people say, if you buy a vehicle that's strictly for a business, that's different versus
that's different.
Yeah. So,
and if it happens to be a Mercedes, well,
yeah, I got to have that for my, and you can justify that apparently.
Yes,
there are people that are buying jets.
I
gotta have a jet for my business. I'm traveling to see real estate across the world, and
that's how they do it. That's how they live, and they keep building.
They spend incredible amount of money on this stuff.
To get them more money, so that, and then before you know it, you go, what do I do now?
Yeah,
time to get a jet.
That's right. Yeah,
time to get a jet.
I got some money sitting around. What am I going to do with
it? Time to get a jet. Why not? We're here. End of the year. What can I do?
I'm going to buy a house in California. Yeah, I need a place to take my company when we go on outings.
Let's go on a corporate retreat.
Yeah, it's true.
Corporate retreat time.
It's funny.
So unfortunately, that's the world we live in. We didn't make the rules.
I did not make the rules.
The billionaires made the rules so that they could kind of keep that money moving. They used to call it check kiting.
I've heard that.
They used to call that check kiting. I've talked about that before, where you don't get to track money because you keep flipping it into something else.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was somebody will write a check to somebody, and then write another check to cover that check, and then and the checks were worthless because they were always in transit, so they never cleared funds. You can't really do that now, because digital funds moved a lot quicker now.
Yeah,
but you could, somebody would actually keep your money on paper, on worthless paper, in the mail, going, oh, checks in the mail. You remember that little scenario, checks in the mail. Well,
that's
the same
where it came
thing
from.
Checks in the mail, which means I don't have to, have the I don't have to cover the funds you're about to catch that check for. And because it's in the mail. And having a little trouble over there.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Goofy, man.
It happens. So
I'll figure it out eventually.
No, you're there.
There
we go.
Right.
Now we're back.
I'm back
I paused just for you.
Yeah.
Just for that.
Everyone was watching me on camera. So,
yeah, right. So, so yeah, and that's what they're doing. They're going to keep flipping.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need? Bigger and better. Let's get we're get all this money. We're either going to get 30% of the government, or we're just going to reinvest it. Yeah. I'm sure that's how all of them do it.
Going to buy another condo down by the beach,
and they openly admit to it because it's legal.
Yeah,
it's completely legal as long as they're accurate in their legal use of whatever they're doing.
Well, that's what when they a lot of the videos I watch, they say that a tax person's not a tax person. If someone understands the tax code, they're your best friend.
Yeah,
because they know what to do to allow you to do this stuff. Apparently I could hire my 16-year-old son and give him a job, and it's a way of saving money. The money I pay him gets taxed differently than just doing other things with it. And so there's all kinds of things like that. Things crazy
are more against your adjusted gross income and all that. There's certain things
more beneficial,
that hit harder.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I think your mileage expense on your vehicle gets hit harder, which means it's a bigger depreciable thing. It comes off in larger chunks.
Gotcha.
The deduction than other things. Like if you have a business luncheon or something like that. I couldn't even really explain it properly, and any tax person out there is going, "Yeah, you don't know what the hell you're talking about." But in my layman's TurboTax user kind of world, then one thing I noticed, because the great thing about TurboTax is you plug in a number, bloop, and then when you hit, when when you kind of log it into your account,
Goes,
then you
"What's
see
this
the
worth?"
big number and it goes up or goes
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
You know, and put in an income. In fact, the first thing you do is you type in all your income, and all of a sudden your tax due is tens of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars because
yeah.
you
It has
have no
nothing against it.
expenses
Yeah,
in there. So the second you do it, um, office rent, big
yeah,
chunk that comes right off,
yeah,
and it really does help you understand when you start plugging through. Like I said, if anything, pick a really quiet Sunday, whether it's even after, but TurboTax, the online thing, you can use it, now.
Yeah.
So go in there and just start plugging numbers in,
See what it does.
and see what it does, and you'll get to understand
Yeah.
exactly. Now, with all your investments and your, that's going to be complicated as hell.
Yeah. Well, I got that, and I got all
Um,
my equipment write-offs and
but
all my personal write-offs too.
equipment, easy.
Yeah.
With TurboTax, it interviews you and asks you what it is, when did you put it in place,
Mhm.
and then it says, do you have the records to back this up? Yes. Okay. So then you kind of move ahead,
Gotcha.
and you don't have to provide records. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have to have the
Yeah, you just have them
records.
if you ever get audited.
Yes. So
Luckily, I have all that online.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so the idea is that it's probably good to even try it,
Yeah.
just to see, how it works, and it gives you a lot of insight as to what you should be looking for, in your month-to-month spending habits, as
Yeah.
to what's more deductible, what's less deductible, avoid things
Yeah.
that, that's just a big seeping hole out of your bank account,
Yeah.
versus something that's an active investment.
And a benefit. Yeah.
That's something that's going to really
Assets.
help you with your tax due at
assets.
the end of the year, versus and assets are a big thing.
Yeah.
And some things aren't. So it helps you build better habits in business, I think.
Oh, we kind of ran
Because
out
you
of
just
time, but
yeah.
I'll bring it up next week. I'll show you my chicken scratch drawing.
Oh,
But
are we out of time? Is it 8?
yeah, it's 8. So
8:03. Okay.
we'll do it next week.
All right.
I also kind of documented, because I'm building 2 stock portfolios, one for my wife and one for me.
Right.
And I only did this year because I added a bunch of new stuff in. So I'm basically documenting. It was fun to do. I had to go back through all the payments, in January, February, March, and then April, and I calculated them down to kind of show hers is not as old as mine, so hers is a lot smaller, but I'm still building them both. And the goal is at some point, hopefully, they will give us enough to take the payment.
I'm in a good place.
Nice.
It's over for me, but it may not be over for a lot of people. And in fact, the person that was trying to get a hold of me said, "Nah, I just filed an extension." I'm like,
yeah, I didn't want to. I really want to get mine done. But
most of the people that file an extension have it's about how much they owe, not about how much they get back.
Yeah.
When you're getting money back, you want to get your taxes in.
I'm pretty positive I'm going to get a lot back this year.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready.
Well,
I'm just a little confused, and
with the business, you've got a lot going on.
Hopefully next year it'll be smoother. I'll have gone through it one time,
right?
And I am going to try to narrow the items, especially on the crypto side. That's really what's killing me, is getting all the data I need. But,
all right.
But yeah.
Well, that's it for the show. We are please follow, and share this webcast, and get in touch with us. And everybody's quiet tonight.
Yeah.
My brother was not around. I guess he fell asleep early.
Maybe we'll see him next week.
Because last week we had off and people thought we're dead. So, I don't know. But anyways, follow, and share.
That happens. You get busy.
Check in with us, and
yeah.
I don't know what else to say other than
see you next week.
See you next week, everybody. Good night.
As far as we know.
Good night.